Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Gash's Comment TV, the Tourist Man Black Africa. Today, Kenya came under a very serious cyber attack. The Distributed Denial of Services, known as DDoS, who actually kwa Kiswahili tuwaita wadukuzi, wakaleta kila kitu chini, and the Sudan Anonymous claimed responsibility. The hackers must be very, very powerful people. The hackers must be very, very knowledgeable about hacking. And when you look at the Sudan Anonymous who claimed responsibility, indeed they interfered with everything in the country. Today, everything was coming down, apart from the cost of living. Lakini kila kitu kilikuwa kimekuja chini. Nothing was spared. Literally, nothing was spared. Even now, I believe there are some systems that are still not working. Starting with e-citizen, it was brought down, which was very, very embarrassing to the government. Mobile money transfer services brought down completely. Kenya Power is experiencing a hitch. Kenya Railways, a hitch. Nothing was left behind. And I was looking at these hackers, the Sudan Anonymous, and I was wondering, is Sudan capable of bringing our systems down? Is Sudanese government, are the Sudanese that experienced? Because this one, the hacktivists, let me call them the hacktivists, are not just ordinary people, if you ask me. These are people who knows, because you see, it is not just one system, it is everything. The question that beg answers is, could Kenya be a victim of Russia-US dominance? Could we be a victim of the Cold War between Russia and America? Because you see, one thing is very clear. Russia was able to hack the American elections. That is the truth of the matter. Mnakumbuka vizuri sana, it was proved that these people were able to hack the American system. Elections indeed. Again, you remember our election was highly infiltrated. That is the truth of the matter. And that is why the government has been very, very keen not to allow the opening of the servers, because I believe our system were hacked. We are living in a very, very dangerous situation. And when you look at the sophistication of the attack, this one tells you, it is not just an ordinary person. How sio wale vijana wa JKUAT? Sio vijana ambao wanajulikana pale, you know, they are IT gurus. And they are capable of doing so many things. Na hawa sio watu wa kawaida. The sophistication in itself tells you that these are serious people. These are people who are very much determined. People who can bring everything down. Because everything was brought down. That's the truth of the matter. I was a victim, by the way. I tried to transact some services. And I could not understand what was happening. Jamaa mwingine rafiki yangu wakasema meda mahali kwenda kula nyama, kala nyama, baada ya kula nyama, kala minofu ya nyama ya buzi, baada ya kubugia ile minofu ya buzi, jamaa kujaribu kulipa. Unajua pesa zilikuwa kwa M-Pesa. Ile tilo haikuweza kufanya chochote, hakuweza kufanya chochote, ilimbidi apigie marafiki zake waje wamokoe. Sometimes the system can embarrass you, by the way. No, when you look at the ties between the Sudanese army and the Russian, it is very, very close. They have by the way, the military in Sudan have very close ties with the Russians. That is why I'm not ruling out Russia here. Russia could be having a hand in this. And again, when you look at the past struggle that is happening in this country, the truth of the matter is that when Ibrahim Raisi, the president of Iran, when he was coming to Kenya, his coming to Kenya was dogged with a lot of controversy. Indeed, his visit had to be postponed. And I believe this was to do with Kenya-US ties, kwa sababu unajua hapo beleni hungeweza kuona rais kutoka zile sehemu za mashariki ya bahari, the far east. You could not see, and the Middle East. Very rarely would you find these people coming. Just the other day, we saw what we described as diplomatic shenanigans that left the country foreign policy in many questions. Kwa sababu unapoangalia William Samoei Ruto seems to be eating and he's making deal with everybody, making deals with America, making deals with Russia, making deals with the Middle East, such as Iran, Japan, Russia, everyone. And the country could be very, very vulnerable, if you ask me. And again, when you look at the country, this is a very serious threat, if you ask me. How safe are our systems? How safe are they? Because if they can come under such serious attack, if the systems can be brought down and everything paralyzed, then it tells you that our systems cannot be trusted very much. And something else that, I've always been saying that when you look at Kenya Kwanza is full of the spirit of jigoism. And when you look at this spirit of jigoism, whereby you want to be felt, you want to register your presence in the international circles everywhere, and this is what William Samoei Ruto has been doing. The dollarization of the economy is something that could be affecting us. And also remember, I think there was something that was to happen in Russia and Africa, heads of state, 53 of them had to go to Russia, but Africa only sent, I think, 16 presidents. So the excellencies did not attend the Russian meeting, only 16. And remember, when William Samoei Ruto was addressing the Pan-African Parliament, he was saying that African presidents are mistreated, which is true. I agree with him, because they are clobbered, they are packed in buses like school children. And these are the excellencies from Africa. They are mistreated, and he said that. And the fact that Africa did not send the excellencies to Russia, and this one can tell you that Russia is not very, very happy. Russia cannot be very, very comfortable with William Samoei Ruto. America also cannot be very, very comfortable with William Samoei Ruto, the way he has been treating the issue of the dollars. And again, when you look at Moses Kuria had also threatened Sudan. He had said that, according to him, African countries should unite and bomb Sudan into smootherings. This was very reckless, if you ask me. This should not have come from a CS. This was verbal diarrhea. This was interfering with foreign affairs. This one tells you that most of the CS, by the way, they have been making a lot of bladder. Some of them commenting in areas that out of their jurisdiction, commenting or in anything that does not even concern them, without caring the dangers that they are posing to this country, without caring about the dangers that they are posing to our foreign policy, our international trade, and many things. Again, you remember the Sudan military general had threatened Kenya, by the way, just the other day. And he dared Kenya into war, by the way. He dared Kenya. This was very dangerous, if you ask me. This one tells you that the Sudan Anonymous could also be true, that they come from Sudan, and they are determined to bring Kenya down, if you ask me. And Kenyans are left very vulnerable, if you ask me. We are becoming very, very vulnerable. And when I was listening to the CS who is in charge of this docket, the man is clueless. The man seems not to know what should be done. And I was asking myself, where is Dennis Itubi and Chirchir? Because hawa ni watu ambao wanajulikana katika umlego wa Kenya Kwanza, that they are very competent when it comes to the IT. Where are they? And when you look at this country, then we need to look at the way we are doing things. Because what is happening is that when you look at Kenya Kwanza is starting wars in so many fronts. Inajaribu kuzozana na Azimio, inajaribu kuzozana na rais aliyestaafu, watoto wake, inazozana na kila mmoja wetu wafanyikazi. This is not should not be the thing. Because sasa ule mzozo, kwa sababu tunaona wanazozana sasa na Amerika, wakati ambapo naanza kuzungumzia the dollarization of the economy. Do you think America is going to accept sitting down? Do you think it is going to accept Iran to be doing business with African countries as they watch. Do you think these things are going to happen? So if I were William Samoei Ruto, I would minimize my battlefronts. I would focus solely on Kenyan economy and Kenyan interests. Hawa wengine wamewahi kuwa pale na hawajai kujihusisha na yale mambo. So we need to be very, very careful. And a friend of mine was joking and was asking me, why can't they hack the brains of some politicians so that we can be able to know what they are thinking, or so that we can be able to ensure that their systems are not working. That is my take. May you have a blessed evening, and may you remain safe. Ensure that you are safe. And by the way, we need to be very, very careful even when you are transacting our businesses online. And because from the experience now that we are getting is that we are not very, very safe. Have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.